I'm going to start with the front differential. So here's the oil pan. Right next to the oil pan is the front differential right here. There's your drain plug. The fill plug is a little hard to see, but it's located right there. And the only thing that's difficult about replacing the fluid on the front diff is access to that bolt. So your socket and wrench really will not fit in here. Your socket's not going to fit because you've got this cross member right here. So you're going to need a Allen key, something like this. And it's an 8mm. Okay, so you need an 8mm Allen key or a tool that will fit in this tight spot right here. Now with an Allen key, that gives me just enough clearance to get my tool in there and loosen this fill plug. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that fill plug first. Oh, wow, that was on there pretty tight. So with the fill plug removed, I'm going to go ahead and open the drain plug. As you can see, the front differential is completely drained. So I'm going to go ahead and install the drain plug. And we're going to torque this down to 25 foot-pounds. Drain plug installed, so that was an 8mm, torque down to 25 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead and fill up the front differential. Now you're going to need a special tool to be able to get the fluid in there, because you don't really have much space at all, because there's your there's your fill hole. I'm going to use a tool like this. It's an extractor. So what I'm going to do is basically suck up that differential fluid and then pump it directly in here. This is the fluid that I'm going with. It's a 7590. So my vehicle is a non-locking differential. So this differential will work with a 75W90 full synthetic Valvoline. So let's give this a try. I'm going to go ahead and just pump this fluid. Oh, super easy. Nice. Oh, this is just way too easy, guys. Okay, well, I'm going to keep filling it until it starts dripping. So there's some nice fresh differential fluid. So I'm going to go ahead and pump a little bit more. Okay, this is going to be pump number 3. The nice thing about this tool, it's got indicators to show them all the volume. So you know exactly how much you're extracting and how much you're putting in. Alright, so this is the 3rd time I'm filling this differential. I highly recommend a tool like this. It makes this job so much easier. As you can see, it's starting to drip a little bit. Let's see if we can put in some more. Okay. Now that's starting to drip, it's full, so I can go ahead and put the fill plug back on. This is the rear diff. Now to give you a perspective, here's the muffler. Okay. And there is your drain plug, and the fill plug is right above it. And I can tell right away that doing the rear diff is going to be a whole lot easier than the front diff, because look at all the room you have to access the fill plug. So this one's going to be a breeze compared to the front. Same thing I'm going to do. Remove the fill plug first. Again, that's the same 8mm. Once I know I can get that off, I'm going to go ahead and drain it. So here goes. Now the rear diff has the same issue as the front diff. Limited access to the fill plug. So a regular socket, as you can see, won't work. So you're going to need a special tool, or in my case, I'm going to use an Allen key. And that'll give me enough clearance. But compared to the front, there's so much more room. So this one's going to be a breeze. Now that I've got the fill plug out, I'm going to go ahead and remove the drain plug. While I'm waiting for the rear diff to drain, let's just take a look at the undercarriage of this Cayenne. And you're going to notice it's very greasy and shiny in some spots. And that's because I use fluid film to prevent any type of rust. So all of this that you're seeing, that's basically fluid film. So I've applied fluid film pretty much to all of the steel components. The diff, I didn't apply any because it's aluminum, it doesn't rust. And obviously, you don't put any on the exhaust. But pretty much everything else does have a coat of fluid film on it. And as you can see, there really isn't a whole lot of rust on this vehicle. It's actually not bad, just a little bit of rust there on the lip. But it's actually, you know, for a 2011, for a car that's like 14 years old, and this is my winter beater, right? So I drive this all the time in the winter with all the road salt, and it's still very clean underneath. So I spray inside the holes of the frame. So everywhere I see a hole, I'll just spray inside. Like all of this. The suspension, that all has fluid film on it. Well, it's been about 10 minutes, so I think that's enough time to let this thing drain. So let's go ahead and put that drain plug back on. We're gonna torque it down to 25 foot-pounds. Okay, so that's good. All right, now all we have to do is fill it up. All right, I'm gonna use the same fluid as I did for the front diff. The differential on my Cayenne is a non-locking differential. So this fluid will work just perfectly. 75W90 full synthetic Valvoline. And I'm going to use my new amazing fluid extractor tool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and extract some more fluid. probably down to a quarter of my bottle. Now it looks like it's full. Let's just see if it's a fast drip. Then we know we're full. It's not dripping at all, so I feel like I put in more than 0.8 quarts, but I'm gonna keep filling it up until it starts dripping. Okay, so at this point, I've pretty much finished a bottle. I mean, there's a little bit of oil left. The capacity of gear oil on the turbo model for the rear is 0.8 quarts. This bottle is 1 quart, and there really isn't much left. And it's not dripping at all. So I feel like I've probably put in 0.8 quarts already. And the car is level. I think I'm gonna keep adding a little bit more until I see some drips. The capacity for the front is half a quart and 0.8 for the rear. I don't know about other trim models, but this is true for the turbo model. Bottle from the front, because I've pretty much finished the rear. The bottle for the rear, I should say. At this point, I'm pretty confident that I've put in more than 0.8 of a quart, which is the specified capacity. I feel like that doesn't seem very accurate, because with these differentials, it's basically fill to overfill. So you keep filling it until it starts dripping out. And I've put close to 1 liter. I think probably close to a liter by now. But I'm going to go in and add a little bit more until I see it dripping out. But I feel like 0.8 of a quart doesn't seem accurate because I put close to a liter already and it's not dripping. And the car is perfectly level. So I'm going to continue adding a little bit more until I start seeing it overfill. Okay, now it's starting to drip, so that's very close to 1 liter. Yeah, as you can see, it's starting to drip. So I know the spec says 0.8, but looks like it takes exactly 1 liter. Now that I know it's full, I've got a nice little drip coming. I can go ahead and put the fill plug in. So as you can see, it's just starting to drip a little bit. The capacity, the specifications says 0.8 of a quart, but this one ended up taking close to a liter. Last thing I'm going to do is document the date and the mileage, and this is only for me to keep track of the maintenance on all my vehicles. So let's go ahead and start it up. So the mileage is 187,949 kilometers. And today's date is Saturday, April 26, 2025.